LORDSON TV Promise.
Banta bi ekoso ane ewo Ghana yamra shebedwom na hwan ne hwan empanifo menu be no wanka siani ewo Ghana mra shebedwom aha ye LORDSON TV Promise mabuwa for the skin code and afi the goat master makacha o se yakom ho nsem sa wo pe bibia fa honam dua ne ho de a wadaroma ba bia odi wani be kire be bo the skin code cosmetics wonum ya wo de o paponche apampem sabe na motuam na hem na chi ni nchenche mu a wadaroma aye the goat master fra wamo na ene omu enya nkitahudie de fefefe ne emu ehwam na wo moma wa kwankyere mfa ho fite nipa bi ehia kwankyere wasase wesu ati asenye sabe so fo akwankyere na meka ha we the skin na afia no mude akwankyere na mpesa wonsa eka omunom kita mimu ema mimu yedu atumi eka ma no boso uhu manim tuntumi an maka cho se eye the skin code for na ekro na ugokopie mu Ghana yamra hyebedwamu a kyese entokwa bi asi wo ho mentime ho ase bi koso Ghana mpanifo enti modwen ya ho mo pe ya asem de maye yiradi se mo be create jobs ne de ugokopie mu sa abre ya me no ekase ya me pa chontokwa no kwa ase nya ntwaye afekwa no ma sha ase de emu hwampa emu sisirem wo sa kwa hwesko be sanse no obi se bisa ho ko san eye Afenyo marking papa yi yenya de jese jondo mani mahama si akunya se ne wasi agini din no anya sem kuma me ana maka me se daachi wanye speaker of parliament ya de beka swa afi wani eye honorable Sam George na te ane omumie no maka siani sabre ya wo Ghana mra hyebedwa na wonim de akofa baaye eye chese omukoko hia mu e wo Ghana mra hyebedwam na Afenyo marking emeki statement bi say eye NDC for edom besi akonwa so yi they are making unexpected ye can say taxes and imposes omo meki chese imposes bi our Ghana for eso eye taxes omo dwen ho monte ase enti ka be ya wo munya bibi fa ho na aye Afenyo marking kasa wie ya na chese atofo sen woni so na ye finance minister sabe ya me no kasa e wo John Dramani Mahama na konwa watisi wona ye finance minister budget wona ekwidi e no no so sorry ye e no ma explanation na wo ma na explanation wie ya na chese Afenyo marking san sorry no say ane sesi Ghana mra hyebedwam aye majority for no wo nta ma Ghana mra hyebedwam wo hu omu aye 40 no kra no aye omu asebe ombetwen ama debate bi ekoso Ghana mra hyebedwam akoso no omu no mutumi etwen ya ne sa 14 do na nta ma parliament na they are making recklessness any chese words bi o use ye mpa chome brofo ye menkoka na meti aba besere me no kawie ya na chese honorable Sam George tu ne sa akom no eno say hey wofa me pa che wo order e wo Ghana mra hyebedwam hanu na wo order ne kire wo say sansam na wo ka no wo ka watomra enti be ya asam no wo ka ye no jana wano na paye majority for na chow efise na ye checheche e wo Ghana mra hyebedwam wa mpa che no e na akwakofa menteme ho ase aba eye Afenyo markings ene Sam George entam abo akwese Ghana mra hyebedwam akoye deja obi asori ana okabi empanifo paw a mo akwatena so mo dwene oman ho omo akwatena so mo se omo be create jobs e dia ma Ghana youth efise ba bia abefa bia no ahonwe na so me no kasei akoye mentime ho ase akoye banta kese akoye jai na menka akoye tenase na me na mechire mu esefata entime srew me kasa pia akosha enya wakono enya ofe na wache amana so nu aso nti yanko na yanko sha bra na chese ekoso ewo montem no.
It's very clear to me that you are not ready to listen to dissenting views, and particularly those who come here to heckle. They come in during voting time. Those who really want to debate, they stay. We have few of you who stay in for debate. When it gets to voting, you are whipped in, and all you come is to make noise and distract and to be heckling.
Mr. Speaker, you don't tax sectors that are not doing well. I cannot decide to add additional taxes on agriculture. And Mr. Speaker, and I cannot, for example, decide to tax the cocoa that is not doing well. Or decide to tax the ordinary Ghanaian whose living standard has deteriorated over the years, including the tax on sanitary pads. That is not what I'm seeking to do. Mr. Speaker, when the cost of living has deteriorated over the years, my tax policy should not be targeting those ordinary Ghanaians that are not doing well. Mr. Speaker, the gold sector is doing exceedingly well. It's doing exceedingly well. So it's only rational It's only rational and prudent for a Minister of Finance to identify the sector that is throwing out abnormal profit and tax them accordingly. Mr. Speaker, the fact remains that we are all politicians. Mr. Speaker, we are all politicians. We have our political parties and our lineages. Mr. Speaker, but there comes a time that you decide to support your country. Mr. Speaker, the time is now. When mining companies are making abnormal profit, you are saying that we shouldn't tax them, but we should rather tax the ordinary? Is that what you are suggesting? Mr. Speaker, that you are opposing this progressive tax. Mr. Speaker, this tax is progressive. E-levy is regressive. Mr. Speaker, betting tax is regressive. We are introducing a progressive tax. That is what we are doing. Mr. Speaker, aside that, all what we are saying is that we are social democrats. We believe in protecting the poor. We believe that if the rich or companies are making good profit, tax them and redistribute it. Mr. Speaker, the tax that is coming in, the tax as we are going to benefit from, we are going to use that to increase the school feeding program. We are using that to increase the allocation going to the LEAP. Mr. Speaker, we are using those taxes to buy sanitary towels for school girls. That is called redistribution. That is what we are doing.
This is after some few weeks back, I decided to ignore, but today and this very time, this evening, I want to respond. Mr. Majority Leader, most respectfully, I shall continue to accord you every respect. Please allow debate to flow. It is very clear to me, that you are not ready to listen to dissenting views, and particularly those who come here to heckle. They come in during voting time. Those who really want to debate, they stay. We have few of you who stay in for debate. When it gets to voting, you are whipped in, and all you come is to make noise and distract and to be heckling. Mr. Speaker, the point here is the finance minister should stand down this bill. There should be further consultation on this matter. The industry players have issued a statement.
I recognize the minister responsible for communication.
The industry players
Yes, Minister for Communication.
have expressed some concerns.
Honorable Minority Leader, I recognize the Minister for Communication.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, we are all colleagues in the House. For the Minority Leader to say that some of us don't come to the chamber and we are only whipped in to come and make noise when it's time to vote is offensive and must be withdrawn because it is unparliamentary. He must apologize and withdraw.
Yes, Minority Whip.
Speaker, you had earlier recognized the Minister for Communication to speak. Speaker, may I refer you to Order 115? Order 115. The Minister for Communication is in direct breach of Order 115, and therefore I invite you to rule him out of order. Yes, and his comments should be expunged from the records. Check. Open your records. Open your orders. Go and sit on your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I am in my seat, and Mr. Speaker, I want to state for the record that in this house it is unparliamentary, it is unbecoming, and it is unacceptable. Mr. Speaker, if it was any of the first timers at the back who failed to attend orientation, who are going to behave that way, we will forgive them. But not when it is the Osahini who is the minority leader. He must set a good example. He must withdraw and apologize to this side of the house. And so, Mr. Speaker, he must withdraw.
Honorable Councilman Nyako, please resume your seat. Honorable Nito.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. I think the minority leader, Mr. Speaker, the minority leader was still on his feet when my good friend, the communication minister, got up to interrupt him. I know that. But Mr. Speaker, the reason I rose up is because you ever ruled here that when the leaders are on their feet, it is only the two leaders who can rise up on a point of order against them. I want your guidance on it. Whether we are still sticking by the same rules or the rules have changed. Because Sam George is not sitting here. He is now a minister. And I've also seen a new person sitting at the front bench, and he's been shouting. He keeps shouting and banging the table. Mr. Speaker, either he goes to sit at his place or he behaves as a leader. I should not be banging the table. But Mr. Speaker, I really need your guidance on the first point I raised. I thank you very much.
Honorable members, let's get it clear. When you are on your feet speaking, we listen with a rapt attention. Honorable members, when you are debating and you are out of order, sometimes we know it is at that point that if a member is on his feet, we are inclined to listen to that member. Honorable members, when there is no issue or point of order and you are on your feet, the speaker may ignore you. Honorable members, let's be guided by the rules. For you to say that some members do not come to the chamber, they only come to make noise. Let's consider this statement as to whether it is offensive or it is not offensive. Honorable members, though the leaders have a right to debate without interruption, does not necessarily mean that when a clear case is made, I will not listen to the member. Honorable members, if the use of the word, some members do not come to the chamber, they only come to the chamber to make noise, according to our rules, is offensive, then I will call on the minority leader to do the needful and let's make progress.
Mr. Speaker, before I proceed with my submissions, let me, in accordance with your directive, restate my point. that members must be patient to listen and listen in silence. I keep reminding the majority backbench that if they disrespect our front bench, they shouldn't expect the leader of the House to be respected. Because, Mr. Speaker, when the leader is on his feet, we try to listen. Even this afternoon, the leader went below the belt, but I restrained myself. Mr. Speaker, please. Mr. Speaker, I believe that it is unacceptable to be yelling, recklessly heckling when a leader is on his feet making an argument. And Mr. Speaker, you did indicate that on such occasions where there will be even the need to interrupt, it should take the leader to interrupt me. But not when backbenchers will be shouting and all that. But, Mr. Speaker,
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, order.
When they start heckling, they start hiding their faces. Be bold and let me identify you. When we meet at the coffee area, you and I. Show your faces. Let me see. Mr. Speaker, that is on a lighter note. It's all right. Mr. Speaker, all we are saying is that this government must act in good faith.
Honorable member,
be quiet.
Honorable minority leader.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable minority
this
leader.
government must act in good
Honorable
faith.
minority leader, I urge upon you to do the honorable thing and let's make progress. So please, Honorable minority leader, please.
Speaker, so my colleagues at the backbench, respectfully, let's have some tolerance to listen to one another. I promise you that to the extent that you will be quiet and listen, you won't be hearing phrases like you are making noise. You won't hear that. So you be quiet. Don't make the room noisy. Don't make the chamber noisy. Just be quiet. Mr. Speaker, I would want to encourage the government, by way of conclusion, that the government should act in good faith.
Honorable minority leader, I humbly call upon you to do the honorable thing.
I'm concluding. I will say it. I will do it in conclusion. Please, leave that to me. Mr. Speaker, the government must act in good faith by standing down this bill for further consultation. That said, I would want to take away the aspect of my submission that my colleagues who were heckling were making noise. And that I would also urge them not to be doing that again. Mr. Speaker, thank you so much.
Honorable members, a point of order was raised when a minority leader was speaking. Honorable members, the words that some members do not come to the chamber, they only come to make noise, is ordered to be expunged out of the record as offensive and against our own standing order 1232.
adofo video bi say anamposa asem bi say na asore o Ghana mna hye bedwe ane ya ameche we ane ya anya no ra ne sie eye ne sabre ya me no kasa eguso ayekoso anu ti LORDSON TV promise sabre na kona ko hye video na wo de kire wadwen ma ye hu say wo hwe sa video ayekoso na say wo nkasa wo tena se hwe na say Ghana mpanifo mbe boa ya youth na eduru ho na waka na wo de ato ho na LORDSON TV promise na anso yakohwe na hu say wo di achi mia notification be no so chema ne nso nu aso chema no do enso wo do so che na enso wo kunu so che na enso wo fa ase we loss ni na chema nso so aha ayo LORDSON TV promise midi adi anotewa makraw
LORDSON TV promise.